last night. What we saw last night was something really amazing, and John's going to be all of us are going to be a testimony to this. I saw I saw a judge stand on stage and marry a couple at this reentry conference that met each other 3 years ago at an NARP conference and got engaged last year at the NARP conference and got married last night on stage at the dinner. And that was something that is going to go down in the history books in my mind. Was to be able to hear to watch a judge come to a reentry conference and marry two reentry professionals at a reentry conference. That is something to put in the books.
Yeah.
And if anyone, Oswald, there is a little hand down here that raises your hand. If one of us is saying something and you want to talk next, you have something you can say, just so we won't skip over anyone. Just tap it. Well, hang on a minute. Yeah, you just tap it, and then you can untap it, and that will let the speaker know and everyone else know that that you want to speak next. So, but yeah, that was just last night, and that was just how amazing that the NARP puts together a conference. I told Rosetta, I told Miss Taylor just a little bit ago when I was getting this room that I have made so many connections over this past couple days that I've made since I became registered 501c3. Now, a lot of these connections I may not be able to use today, and I may not be able to align with them today, and vice versa. But as Why Not Mindset grows, they're going to be there to help lift me up. And when we get there, Rosetta said that's wonderful, because when you get to them and they can help you, there's going to be people under you that needs uplifting as well. So I have seen magic and power impact over the last 4 days. I really have. And Rosetta has asked that we do this every year for the NARP to kick it off, to close it out. And I would be absolutely honored that the NARP puts together 4 days and we can give back 1 hour of our time. And I think I would be honored to say, we'll absolutely do that for the NARP every year. So I'm blessed. I am blessed. What do you think over there across the pond, John?
I think this is something I've never heard of before. Until you told me you were coming to this conference, I'd got no idea. And when I listen to you talking about it now, Rusty, you seem to me, you come across as somebody that is so full of information, so full of all the people you've met and what you're going to get out of it, and only time will tell. But I think you've got such a large base of information now in the back of your head. You're going to sleep well tonight, I think. We really need something like this in the UK, Oswald. I don't know whether you've thought of exporting it to the UK, but we have nothing like this here. And I'm tempted really to go onto LinkedIn tomorrow when I wake up and write the virtues of what I've seen and what I've been a part of. A very small part. I did an hour 3 nights ago, and I'm doing another hour or so tonight. And really see whether we can't get a contingent from the UK to come over next year and come to your conference, because that would be absolutely wonderful. I would love to do that. The problem we've got in the UK is a simple one. There are many people running what we call a social enterprise, what you call a not-for-profit, I think, where there are kind-hearted souls, of which I've been one for many years, who do a variety of jobs in prison that help people. I mean, the work I do is inside prison, but there are many people who look after the health needs of people when they come out. They help them, they meet them at the gates, and they give them a mobile phone and start them off. There are others who help with somewhere to live. Some people help with work. But we've got nobody, absolutely nobody, that stitches it all together and generates a business out of the whole thing. So in other words, the journey that everybody makes, and Rusty's an expert on this, the journey that everybody makes from the time they're incarcerated and they're looking to leave to when they actually walk through that gate and they are a free person again. Yes, sure, we've got some who deal with what I would call the easier to look after people than the fraudster or the drug dealer or somebody who's jolly grateful to get rid of his criminal past. But when you start talking the difficult people, the arsonists and the sex offenders, nobody does much for them. So I think we should, taking this forward, I think we should look to the UK to copy the kind of conference you're doing, with a view to generating a much more holistic approach for everybody in prison, not just the ones that are obviously able to reconfigure their lives and turn a leaf and start again. So yeah, I take my hat off to you, sir. This looks to me to be a wonderful event, and if it were only me coming to it next year, I think I'd like to be the one.